Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Tech Trapper Podcast with your host, Aaron Reed. And I am here with a very special guest today. She is a flight attendant. She is an actress. She is a puppy mom. But most importantly, she is my beautiful wife, Dominique Danielle. How you guys doing today?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing okay today. So I'm glad that you're here on the Tech Trapper Podcast. And today we are going to be talking about travel tech. So we are sitting down with a flight attendant who loves to fly the friendly skies of America. So
I do.
if you happen to be on one of those airlines that may or may not give you free bags anymore,
Wow, really?
you might run into Miss Dominique Danielle. So, Dominique, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, like you said, I am your lovely wife, actress, puppy mom, youngest of three girls from my mother and father, aspiring writer as well. You forgot that one.
I did forget that one. You are a writer. So, what genre of writing do you like to do?
Right now, I guess you could call it young adult. If for my book, I'm guess young adult ish. I'm gonna say if you're in the age range around 25 to 35, that might be where I'm at. And then I'm also writing a script with my sister. You know, my sister's keeper. And that's for TV.
I might have heard about that before.
Just once or twice,
I'm glad you brought that up because we'll get to that later on in the conversation. So we've learned a little bit about you, a little bit about yourself. So I guess my first question would be, are you really a big techie? Like, I guess you would say I am.
You definitely are. Am I a big techie? No. I don't consider myself to be a big techie. The answer is no. No, I'm not.
Looking at the desk there, you do have a lot of tech on that desk we're about to talk about, though.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
So I guess you not being a big techie, but I'm pretty sure, like, you use a lot of tech within your daily life. So I guess my first question would be, like, what would you call your first entry point into really using tech? Like, if you asked me, I would say the first true piece of tech that I really can remember using and enjoying would be like the Atari when I was a kid, playing video games on that. So what would be your first entry into tech?
If you're going back that far.
Well, you don't have to. You can go back.
I'm just going to say, I did have a Sega. I had a Sega Genesis. But like, even then, I just wasn't that into it. I had one, but I'm going to say probably my cell phone.
Your cell phone?
I'm going to say the cell phone. My Nokia, I think that's what it was back then. It was a Nokia. I'm telling my age, but I don't care.
Was it a Nokia flip phone?
No, was it? No, it was the little rectangle one. You had to play. You play Snake on it. Like, wasn't that a Nokia?
Yeah, you old.
See, you see how he almost took me there. I'm trying to be good for the people. Don't make me act up, okay?
So that's a cool story. Like like I said, mine was the Atari. But when I started thinking about like my first cell phone and things like that, it wasn't Verizon. They were like Houston Cellular back then, and it was this big brick phone. It almost looked like one, like if I had it today, it would look like a phone you would give a senior citizen. You know what I'm saying?
But that's what was out then. That's what it was. You was popping.
I was
that guy, huh?
Yeah, I was. And I had an older cousin who had. Now I'm really telling him my age. He had the cell phone that was in the briefcase.
In the brick, my cousin had that same one. He had that same one, and he thought he was him.
Well, yeah, my cousin as well did too. You know, it was the phone, there was the briefcase, and
That's
then
crazy.
So we would walk through the mall. He would have a briefcase phone, and then he have his radio face in his hand. Well, back then it was the entire
Yup.
radio in his hand. So you know that's like retro tech now.
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
So let's dive into it. As a flight attendant, I guess the first thing I'm going to ask you is what's in your travel bag as a flight attendant?
Okay. First of all, as a flight attendant, there are certain things we have to have. We have to have a watch,
Okay.
and we have to have our work tablet for our company. I don't know what everybody else do, but we have to have a watch. We have to have a flashlight. We have to have our work tablet. And this is my watch. I'm not a watch person, so I really didn't have a watch. So my husband gave me a smartwatch. Right?
What kind of smartwatch is that?
It's Apple.
It is an Apple Watch.
And it's about to die. But because I'm really not a watch person. But I have my Apple Watch, and it does come in handy. Have to have my watch. Have to have my tablet, because important things are on here that you need for work every day.
And what kind of tablet is that? Is that like an iPad, a Samsung tablet?
This is an iPad. Apple iPad tablet for work, okay. And I have my phone. That's not work related, but it is. But it's not. But I have to have it. So yeah.
Now, what kind of phone are you using? Is it one of those horrible? Is it one of those horrible Samsung or Android tablets?
No. This is an Apple iPhone. It is, because that's what we use here.
Okay.
So those are my must-haves for work.
So, what's your must-haves for work with in your tech carry? What are some of the main use cases for those must-haves?
So, my watch is mainly for emergency purposes, for work. Just in case we have something that goes on, we have to have a timer. Oh, you need to be in your seat in 5 minutes because this is what's going to happen. So, we all have to synchronize watches and time, so we'll know what we're doing and how. With the tablet, we have what's called IFB. So we have our flight attendant manual on there. That is a requirement. We have to have that with us every time we fly. So that's on there. Certain apps that we use, links, applications, how we charge for drinks, all those things, that's located. So I need that every time we fly. So if you order a drink, I have to be able to charge you. That's what that's for. And you also have to have, that's how we charge you. Yes.
Okay.
So it's a must-have.
Okay, so those are the must-haves.
Yes.
Now, what are some of the things that aren't must-haves that you keep with you as a flight attendant in your travel bag?
Okay, get the phone out the way, because we all need the phone. Duh. My watch. And because, Apple is Apple and I use my phone, I have to have a little battery pack. I'm going to get a new one, I think. But I have my little battery pack because I play games on my phone. And sometimes I read on my phone. And it drains. So, battery pack, my nice little charger card, whatever you want to call that.
That is a nice charger card. Is that a fast charger card, or is it a regular speed?
No,
or do you even know?
I don't know. My husband told me it was a fast charger. I don't know the names of these things, okay? Like, again, I said, I'm not the techie. He's techie. I just use stuff. So, I like this because, look at that. Whichever one you need, it's there for you, honey.
Oh, it gives you like the USB-C, it gives you the lightning, and then it also gives you the regular USB.
Right,
I don't
said. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know this is the one you use to charge my phone. What that's called, I don't know.
That's the lightning. That's the lightning cable.
Lightning, but it's a UC. It's a what?
It's just the lightning adapter for it's lightning for iPhone. And then like everything else is USB-C.
See, exactly. See, I don't know. I just use it. It works. It charges things.
So, and if you pair it with this anchor thingy here, this anchor wall plug is like a fast charger. So if you pair it with that, it should charge even faster. And then if you use the anchor power brick that I usually keep in the bag when I'm traveling with you, because I don't trust you to take it on your own.
The shade.
It'll charge even faster.
I don't appreciate that shade, but
sorry.
whatever.
So what else do you have in that travel bag of yours that you can't live without?
My AirPods.
Definitely gotta have AirPods.
But I must say, recently, since I've gotten,
What did you get?
I got the Ray-Ban Metas.
Man, let's look at those and let's talk about
Let me
it.
tell you something. Since I have gotten these Ray-Ban Metas, honey, I love them. I love them and I use them all the time. I can't remember the last time I really used my AirPods, but I keep them with me because, I mean, they might die and may need to be recharged, so I can use either one. They're both paired and synced to my phone, so at any given moment, I'm good to go.
No, let's talk about the Ray-Ban Metas because I clearly have some on
You
right
do.
now as well. What are some of the features that you use most with your Ray-Ban Metas?
Mostly taking pictures. I'd love to take the pictures and talking on the phone. I love to not. AirPods are cool, but I feel like I'm gonna lose them. I feel like they're gonna fall out my ears at any given moment. I can just put this on, put my phone in my pocket, and go on by my business. And these not falling off my face. So I love that feature. And recently I'm starting to do more is getting Meta to read my text messages to me. Love that too. I just be like, hey, Meta, read new message. And she do it.
No new messages in the last minute.
She just told me I didn't have no new messages in the last minute to read, so there.
So and what do you use more? Do you use the actual photo function more, or do you use the video function more?
I'm going to say the photo function more, only because Meta doesn't zoom, and with sometimes I want to get a closer video, a closer angle or whatever you want to call it. Want to zoom in or something? I can do that with my phone. I can't do that with the glasses because they don't zoom. And I also have to sometimes remember that the camera is on the end, and I might miss the whole entire thing what I'm trying to record, which I've done recently, and it really upset me. But so that's not fun. So yeah, so I use pictures fine, but videos I usually use my phone for.
And I think that might be like the one knock that I have with the Metas. Not necessarily the zoom, because I like the point of view that you get from the video when I'm taking it. You just have to be mindful of where the camera is depending on what you're doing. But I guess the position of the camera probably is my biggest issue.
Yeah, but you don't want a camera smack dab in the middle of
That's the thing.
of your glasses, because that's weird.
Because right now, the camera's on one side and then the lights on the other side.
Right.
And they kind of like blend in. Honestly, they look nice fashionably. I don't know how that would look if I had a huge camera in the middle
Exactly.
of the glasses, unless it was a camera that you really couldn't see. So,
Yeah.
and I noticed with my black Metas, you really don't see the camera in the light. But I noticed with these, you can distinctly see the camera in the light.
I mean, they're a lighter shade, so I can see that.
But people still don't know what they are from time to time.
Nah, it's funny to me because my sister calls them the spy glasses, but I don't use them for that unless I'm like, hey, I'm gonna record you, or I'm about to take this picture, because I don't want nobody to say nothing to me about me and my glasses, so I don't. But so I usually, if I'm I'm listening to music or I'm having a conversation, so there.
Have you
I'm recording you.
Have you tried dabbling in the AI assistant with your Meta Ray-Bans?
That's the thing?
Oh, you didn't know?
No, what do you mean? AI says, what do you mean? That's the thing?
You can say like, "Hey Meta, what am I looking at?"
No, I have not. I usually stick to, you see, again, I just stick to the straightforward. Oh, the glasses do this? Cool. That's what I'm using. I did not know that was a thing.
It won't answer me right now because my phone is occupied. But yeah, you can like ask it, "What am I looking at?" and it can give you a brief description of what you're looking at. Like I did it at work the other day, and it told me that, oh, you're looking at a pair of work pants that could be Dickie or Cohort. You know what I'm saying? Not whatever it's called. Things like that. So it's moving along pretty good. You can maybe see a purse somewhere that someone is wearing. You can ask it, what is it? It might be able to distinctly tell you the brand.
That could come in very handy.
Definitely could come in handy. You know,
I like purses.
you do. Oh, I know. I know you like.
I
Purses.
like purses.
So, what else is a part of your travel carry bag there?
Okay.
I know we're
And-
moving along through it.
And this.
Oh, no,
This.
please tell us what that is, and I would love to hear how you came across ownership of this tech device that you have in your hand.
This comes with me not only to work. This comes with me everywhere. This is my Kindle Scribe.
And it goes with you literally everywhere.
It goes with me everywhere. To work, to in-laws, to my mom's, to the store, to the gas station. It does not matter. To somebody's house, wherever. I'm going to have this with me because I love to read. And it has I love to read books. So that's what I have. Occasionally, I do jot some things down with my wonderful Lamy.
Oh, you
EMR
happen to
pen.
have a Lamy AL Star EMR pen as well? Go ahead and show the people
I
again.
do because
In this nice burnt orange color or copper color,
this
whatever
is the
it
copper
is.
color. Here it is. Okay, it's very nice. Writes very lovely. I also procured this one as well, but this is just a ballpoint, if I'm not ballpoint pen for writing on regular paper and things and such like that. But yes, this Kindle Scribe, I love it. I know he's moved on to other tablets and things, but this works for me. I'm not a big writer or journaling and things like that. On occasion I do, and I can use that, and it works fine for me. I don't have to have different pockets and files and things and stuff like that. So it works for me, and I can get to my books. That's all that matters. I can get to my books.
So let's talk about the Kindle Scribe for a little bit, because you were introduced to e-ink, I guess, around the same time I was, when,
Yes.
we had the whole dreaded hospital stay.
Yes, and we had to share. Sharing is caring.
Yeah, we'll talk about that sharing part that worked for a couple of weeks. So when it comes to the Kindle Scribe, what's your use case? What is the we talked about it a little bit, and I know, but for the audience,
Yes.
what is your main use case when it comes to the Kindle Scribe, and what do you like about it?
Me personally, I love the simplicity of it. I need to get to my books, just put in, it's right there. I can download it. The only issue sometimes I have with this is when I'm traveling and I go to the different hotels, things, and I don't think that's a knock on the Scribe. I think that's the hotel's Wi-Fi or whatever. But sometimes it's hard for me to, maybe it is the Scribe, I don't know. It's hard for me to log on to sync the Wi-Fi. So if I need to download another book or delete something like that, mainly with my books, I can't do that because for whatever reason, it's not letting me log in and connect to the Wi-Fi that way. But
I think you run into those problems with connectivity in the hotels is because sometimes, like when you're traveling and you're in a hotel, to actually get your device on the Wi-Fi, you have to actually go to a web page to hit some acknowledgments. And with the Kindle Scribe, it doesn't necessarily have internet browser that allows you to go to certain places. Yeah. So because of that, you can't hit those acknowledgments.
It's a struggle. It'd be a struggle sometimes.
So when I saw the Kindle Scribe, because originally I was going to get a Supernote device, but I didn't want to spend the money on the Nomad, which was the only device that Supernote had available at the time, and I wanted a 10-inch or larger device, and the Nomad isn't that. So the Remarkable Paper Pro was the next option, and I definitely
remember
wasn't going to
that.
spend $600 on something I didn't even know I was going to like. And I ran across the Kindle Scribe at a nice price point, had some good reviews. I know you've always read a lot when it came to digital books. So, kind of tell us about the tablet you were using before we bought the Kindle Scribe and just the differences on the experience in using that. Like, was it, do you feel like the Kindle Scribe with the e-paper display? I'm sorry, not e-paper, because one of the great content creators on YouTube, Ed at Organized for Change, hates it when people say e-paper.
What
So
is it called?
it's an e-ink display.
Oh, okay.
So,
Display, okay.
what do you like better? Do you think your eyes are do you think as much as you read, it's better on your eyes with the e-ink display, or does it really matter? And just what kind of device were you using for your e-reading purposes before the Scribe?
Okay. So, what was I using before the Scribe? Originally, phone.
You're using your phone.
I was using my phone, several book apps on my phone.
What was that one tablet that we bought?
But then we moved. We
We
got
moved to Atlanta,
the
and I
Fire.
got you the Fire, the
Fire,
Fire, the Fire tablet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which was, it's fine. Just like your regular tablet or whatever, what have you. And it worked fine. And because I can log on the Wi-Fi, I could, essentially, it's just like my phone, just like what's some thing? iPad, just a Fire tablet, smaller, compact. But I must say, I like the bigger screen. Why? I don't know. I just like it. It works for me. So when Aaron got the Scribe, I just kind of fell in love with that and having the bigger screen to read on. Does it, my eyes adjusting, I think it's pretty much the same. I guess it depends. Now, if I don't care what I'm looking at, either whether it's the tablet or my phone. If I go from this to say watching TV, because I multitask when I'm reading,
Yeah.
and I will read, play a game, and watch TV, all in the same moment.
I still don't know how you do that.
Hey,
And you retain the information, and I don't understand how you do that.
I will do all these things all at the same time. I go, it's like a little circuit. But anyway, it's still always hard for me to go from these screens to the TV. My eyes do have to adjust a little bit, slightly less when I go from the Scribe to the TV. Maybe because of the what is it called? How the screen is. What is this? Aaron.
The e-ink screen?
Yeah, the e-ink screen. Maybe that's why it's not as harsh of a transition, but it still sometimes takes a minute for my eyes to get adjusted to the television screen coming off of the Scribe. But it's gonna be an adjustment either way.
I've noticed, like, with light sensitivity, like I look at screens so much that when I'm using the 10.3, it's a relief to look at something that's not backlit. One of the downfalls, I don't call it a downfall, just one of the, maybe negatives of having a e-ink device that is not backlit is that you can't use it in low light situations. However, I do enjoy using a device that's not backlit, where it's really looking like, it looks like I'm writing on paper or I'm reading a piece of paper. And so I love that aspect of it. In regards to the writing experience with the Notes app on the Kindle Scribe, how would you describe that writing experience?
No, that's cool. It comes in clutch too, because how often do I just have paper and need to write and take notes, and I'm looking for paper and I have none because
You never.
I don't have paper. And I don't want to take notes on my phone and I'm typing each letter, oh, such and such. and then this I can just pick it up, go to the notes, and say, oh, we need this, then the third. Or recently, earlier this year, we were planning a funeral. No one had paper. Like I said, this comes with me everywhere. We were able to just pop this open, take down notes for what we needed, pallbearers, all those kinds of things, food, whatever we needed. It was right here and it was available. I could easily send these notes out, email them to whoever needed to get that information. Came in clutch. Loved that feature. It's awesome. So also, even if I'm on the plane and something happens, we need paper. We need to write something down because we might have a medical emergency of some sort. We have to get information. The passenger, what they were doing, witnesses, who helped, what do we do? Because we have to have an account when we turn in this paperwork. Another note, we don't want to do medicals on plane. Don't do that on the outside the door. But if we do, we still need the information. Um, we have to write that stuff down. So this also comes in handy for that as well.
Okay, cool. Last thing about the scribe, and we'll move on to your next tech device. Do you feel any kind of way with the recent changes that Amazon has put out there with not being able to download your books and things like that, or do you even care?
Eh, not too much. I mean, most I don't. It doesn't bother me so much because it's an electronic book. Most times, like I have the unlimited membership, so I'm usually, I guess you could say, renting the book. So I'm gonna read the book, send it back, and get another one. So me not having it, that don't really bother me. Now, what does bother me if I actually purchase that book, like I've paid the whole 17.95 for whatever book it is, but it's not really mine. That's weird to me. That's weird, and I don't necessarily agree with that. So I guess I don't agree.
It's only not weird to me because I understand what I'm doing. I understand that I am purchasing the rights to a book. I'm not purchasing the actual book. So, I purchased a couple of books. I purchased a couple of books last week, and instead of buying the hard copy for $25.99, I
Right.
bought the digital copy for like $9. So I understand, just like with all of my Apple Music, with all of my Apple movies, with Netflix, I'm paying for the rights to, I don't know, lease a book or some
That
music,
sounds what I was thinking. You're leasing. You're
and I'm cool with
leasing.
it. Like I'm cool with it. I don't care because it's like I could walk around with 4 books in my bag, or I could walk around with this Kindle device that has over 100 books in my
Right.
pocket. So, I choose convenience over my rights sometimes.
Jeez, if I actually had all the books that are on this thing,
Yeah.
this also, I forget stuff.
Yes. You
I've lost, and it hurts my feelings when I lose things because they mean a lot to me. I've lost a lot of things. So if I lose anything that I've shown you today, I might actually legit cry, and you know this. But if I had all those books that are on here, I wouldn't be able to go nowhere. Everything would be too heavy. But see, that's the thing. And sometimes I like to go back and reread books. That would upset me that if I purchased the book, but Amazon no longer has the rights to those books, well, now I don't have them. Because on occasion, I do like to reread a book. If I'm getting a slump or something like that, I'm like, oh, let me read this again or whatever. What if they don't have the rights no more, so now what do? I have to go back and purchase the book all over again?
I just think that the times that happens is so few and far between. It's not an issue. Like I've only heard people on Reddit complaining about like one book that was removed from Amazon. So I don't think it's that big of a deal. But
I mean, I haven't had that issue so far yet, so I hope I never do, but you know.
the fact that you stole the Kindle Scribe from me.
I did. No, 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 no. No, I did not steal the Kindle Scribe from you.
Well, let me rephrase
Sir,
it. Let me rephrase it.
You
Let me rephrase it.
gifted me
That is true.
the Kindle Scribe because why, sir?
Because there was a time that if I didn't actively have the Kindle Scribe in my hand, you had it. And so the combination of that, and I was so excited that you actually found a piece of tech that you enjoyed, and the fact that organizational wise, the Kindle Scribe wasn't enough for me. Like, it's a great device. The writing feel is awesome. The screen looks great. If I'm just taking just some regular notes and that's it, it's fine. But
Right.
organization was a little bit not enough for me,
you.
and it
Right.
didn't have like a legit calendar app. And so that's what drove me to get the in my opinion, the best e-ink tablet that is out on the market right now, the BOOX Go 10.3, that in my opinion is far more superior than the Supernote Manta.
So you use the books all the time. I can't navigate that thing to save my life, but I don't use it. So if I used it more, I probably could. I mean, I can learn things, but I think that's why I like the Scribe. It's the simplicity of it, and I don't need a lot of I don't need a lot.
For an entry for a device that's an entry into e-ink, the
Yeah.
Kindle Scribe is awesome because, like you said, it's not too much to it to navigate it, and it has a writing feel that is just as good as all of the top tablets out there. You did mention the books and in navigating it, and that is one thing that books does need to improve on is just the usability of their UI for someone who wants to use like a Books device on day one. If you're not someone who's going to really read the user manual, it's going to take you a day or two to get comfortable with it. And then if you're not someone who will just go and dig through the menu items to just see what they do, then you might have difficulty navigating it because with the Books device, it's honestly it's all about how you set it up. I like there are 3 different ways that, and it's probably more, but for right now, there are like 3 different ways that I can set this 10.3 up to quickly navigate it and get to where I need to get to and use my files and link stuff together. But the way it's laid out and presented to you, it can be confusing because it has so many tools.
Right.
Like I don't even use. I've started making myself use the nav ball on the 10.3, and just using the navigation ball unlocked 5 different ways for me to quickly access files with like one click, opposed to I was using the like one gesture in the menu bar, and they're literally depending on how you want to set it up. There are like 4 or 5 different ways that you can set this thing up, and it's so easy to navigate, so smooth. You quickly get to wherever you want to go, but you have to be the type of person who's going to dig into the menu and figure out just what I want to use and how I want to use it. So
Right. Yeah. See, I don't think I'm that person. I would probably get on your nerves with like, and what I do, and how I get this, and I'll probably ask you that every day until it finally just stuck. Now I can retain a lot of things sometimes, but
but that's the thing though. Like you use an iPhone and you use a Mac. So
yeah,
those two things alone, like it's you just have to know how you want to use it. And like I said, after a day or two of using it, once you set up what you're going to use, because there's some tools on here I don't need.
yeah,
I don't even touch the tool. I know what it does because I'm nosy and I just want to know what it do. But there are tools on here I'd never use. So like the handwriting recognition, it works great, but I don't really use it. I know how to use it, but I don't use it because when I export my notes to the Mac, I just take those handwritten notes and I throw them in Pages, and the Mac OS handwriting recognition is great, and it transforms my handwriting notes into text paragraphs. So
That's kind of cool.
yeah, it is.
That's kind of cool.
What else you got there? I know you have a piece of jewelry that's tech.
I forgot all about that.
Oh yeah.
I didn't forget, but I forgot, and because I was like, I don't have nothing else.
Mm.
But when I was bringing all my things to the table, I was like,
What is that?
it is the Ultra Human Smart Ring,
Yes, it's
and
this.
I have it in the silver, and it's pretty cool.
How did you
I
learn?
didn't think I was gonna like it.
How did you learn about the Ultra Human Smart Ring? By the way.
I learned about everything else that's technological.
Oh, that would be
You-
me.
Yes.
So
I
what do you-
wasn't gonna get it at first
Okay,
because
I didn't know that.
to me it's like what I need this for. What I need this for. But it actually comes in handy. Clocks in your sleeping pattern, what you need to do, how you can adjust. It even tells you how many times you toss and turn
It
in your
does.
sleep. Recently, came down, I was sick. And I didn't pay any attention to it, but when you go into the app and you look over things, it told me that a fever, my temperature was slightly elevated and that a fever was coming. Or I guess not coming, but what did it say? I can't remember.
I get it. It was on the horizon.
Yeah, it was exactly. And I didn't think much of it, but like that next day, later on that night, like I was sick. Fever, headache, coughing. I don't know if it was allergies or head cold, whatever it was. Like it told me, but I didn't pay attention to it. So I thought that was pretty cool. So and I wear this every day. I usually charge it, take it off to charge while I'm in the shower, put it back on before I go to sleep. And pretty cool. I like it.
Yeah, I like it as well. So the Ultra Human Smart Ring was one of the things that I bought because I was at home off of work with my foot healing and I was shopping.
Yes, you do.
And so I saw it and I kind of read about it. And, at this point in my life, I was trying to improve my health and be healthier. And I thought it would be a cool tool to use. And I like the fact that it tracks your sleep, your body temperature, which can let you know if you have like a fever on the horizon or something like that.
Yeah.
So that's cool. It tracks your steps. And I compared it to the Apple Watch.
How close?
How close the steps are, and they're pretty accurate. Like I think they both came within like 100 or so steps, couple hundred steps. So it's pretty accurate with that. And then it tracks. You can add some extra things you want it to track. So I don't know what you have added, but like for me, I have sunlight exposure.
It does have that. I do have that. For females, this doesn't concern me anymore. But it also has the app where you can track your cycle and all those things that you need. You can put that on there, so it can track those things. If I'm not mistaken, you can put that as on there as well. So it works.
Yeah, I like the interface. It's real easy to use, and it also has if you're a diabetic like myself, or if you're just someone who wants to track their blood glucose, you can also pair that with a blood glucose monitor, and you'll see all of your stats in one place. So I like that as well. I even have I call it the mood monitor. I think it's another word for it.
The mood monitor.
Well, it lets you know if you're stressed out or not. Yeah, so usually when I'm talking to my parent, my mom, I think the stress meter goes up.
You know what? It does have that on there.
Yeah.
I'm hardly ever stressed.
Well, yeah,
Such is the life.
I guess that's a good thing.
It is. Has it been? I'm trying to think of a time when I've looked at it. When it said that I was stressed, I don't remember what I was doing or what was going on at that time for me to be stressed. I probably didn't even recognize that I was stressed,
I can see that.
but I sometimes just just move through things. Just whether I'm stressed or not, sometimes I just move through things. So
I added
that's probably why.
I added the caffeine monitor to it, and it tells you like the optimal times to drink caffeine and when you should stop drinking caffeine.
I probably should not have had this cup of coffee because it told me not to drink caffeine.
Yeah, I ignore that stuff. I drink caffeine. I mean, I drink coffee or energy drink at 10 o'clock at night, and then I go to sleep by 10:30.
I
So
don't know. I think I'm gonna be up, but don't do that.
so oh my God,
What's wrong?
I thought I broke my lammy.
Oh,
You know what I'm
Lord.
saying? I thought I
God
broke it.
forbid he breaks his.
I mean, I have another one somewhere around here.
Oh, he has several
So
outside of these two. He has several
I got
more.
this
He has
one.
plenty. He probably could let you borrow one or two.
this one, I got the original like black AL Star that's right here, and then I have this one right here. Where did it go? It's like a new colorway. Oh, this one. And so I need to get one more. And after I buy one more, I'm not buying anymore.
He is telling a lie. He is lying. He gonna buy another one.
No, I'm not.
After he get that one, it's gonna be another color, another character pen or something, and he gonna be
Well,
like, "Ooh, I
so-
gotta have that one."
Because I got a new I got the Moby Scribe Wave. I got this, so I need a Lamy AL Star that's going to be specifically for the Moby Scribe Wave.
So how do you like that?
I like the Moby Scribe Wave. I wish that I would have known about this tablet sooner. It's It's like a 7.8-inch tablet. So, in size comparison, it's smaller than the 10.3 or the GOAT 10.3. So you can see the size difference there.
Right.
But it's cool because I wanted it to take quick notes when I'm at work. I mean, we work for the same airline. So, except I'm in tech ops and you're in your flight
In
attendant.
flight.
So when I'm walking around the hangar trying to find tool numbers and calibration numbers, and I would use this. I could still use the 10.3, but trying to one hand the 10.3 and then write it, I didn't like it,
It's a
and
bit much.
I don't want to break it and drop it because it's so great. And with the Moby Scribe now, it's small enough where I can use one hand, because I found myself still walking around with like a pen and paper, like a small tablet. And once I started really using the 10.3 for my long format writing, I don't want to touch paper again in my life. And so I got the Moby Scribe. It works great. It's actually exceeded my expectations because the calendar app on the 10.3 is good. But there are some things that the calendar app allows me to do on the Moby Scribe for us creating events and linking some notebooks that you can't do with the 10.3. So the Moby Scribe is actually going to turn into my new daily planner in regards to events and appointments that I want to add that are my personal things, because I use like work stuff. I use my iPhone or my Google calendars because it syncs with my iOS.
Yeah.
But yeah, as a quick little, just couple of sentence note taker device is what I'm going to use the Moby Scribe for, and kind of like my idea vault. So I have this thing that I was using on the 10.3. It was a notebook, and it was my idea vault, where I just jot down quick ideas, and then later on when I'm working on whatever task or creative project I'm working on, I just reference those quick ideas. I'm going to use the Moby Scribe for that, because a lot of times when I'm thinking about these quick ideas, I'm, on the go, waiting on the flight, or actually on the plane, or, at my lunch break, or just, chilling. And I don't want to pull out the 10.3. And, I used it today in the grocery store for our grocery list.
You did.
And I couldn't do that with. Let me rephrase that. I can do anything with the 10. I can do anything with the 10.3. Let's let that be known. But as far as just the size. The size is what made it convenient. I'm still going to use my Paperwhite for my leisurely reading. I just like the screen better, even though the screen on this Mobi Scribe is not bad at all.
Yeah,
In the
that was
writing
my next
experience,
question for you.
no, the screen's not bad. And the writing experience, honestly, is it's just as good as the 10.3 or the Scribe. It's not the same, but it's just as good. So, but I do love the Paperwhite for my leisurely reading. So I'm gonna still use it for that. Yeah, I think, man, we're almost done. So I guess my last question is gonna be for you, in regards to acting, being the actress.
Yes.
What kind of tech have you used in that? If you use any, I don't know.
Well, I actually do use the scribe with scene work. I will put the script on here. Just like sometimes I can't take paper; it's too much. I can put my script on the scribe, and that way I always have it with me, and I can go over my lines, and to memorize them and get to know them, and they're always there. And I sat on my phone, and the scribe comes in handy when you can't or you don't need to take that paper script with you. I also use it when I'm reading for my sister. We come and we do our audition tapes and things like that. I'll use this, and I'm reading for her, or she'll read for me from her phone, and it comes in handy. So, yeah, I never really thought about the technology that I use for being an actress. Yes, I know it's technology. You have cameras. That's like a given, but I didn't really think about it like that. Huh.
Yep, we use cameras. We use
The microphone.
audio equipment.
Ooh,
Yeah, I
so
mean,
fancy.
you do voiceovers. After we get through with this, you're gonna do a couple of voiceovers.
I am. I'm
So
so
you know,
nervous.
we use that. Well, I don't be nervous. All right. Well, so man, we've ran over. So, but you know what? We actually have another podcast that we do called Mr. and the Wife. So we'll get
Yes.
into some of
I'm the
your
wife.
yeah, she is the wife and I'm the Mr. So we'll get into some of your your acting projects over there if you guys want to tune into that. That's another 25-30 media production. So I guess just briefly let the audience know where they can find some of your acting projects, and B, where they can find you on socials.
Okay, so you can check me out on Grimy Situation. That's on Tubi and Prime, Amazon Prime Video, and I have some plays on Amazon Prime as well under AWJ Productions. And what else? You can find me. I am the Bright Skin Bandit on Instagram. Look for me. You'll see me. I'm the only one. The Bright Skin Bandit on Instagram. Dominique Chef Williams on Facebook. Hit me up. And I'm D Sweetie. D_Sweetie on TikTok. Hit me up.
So, Miss Williams, Dominique Williams, thank you for coming on the Tech Trapper
For
podcast.
having me.
Yes, with your host, Aaron Reed, and this has been Dominique Danielle. And look out for the next episode. We have an exciting guest that I've already contacted. So that next episode is going to be a good episode. We're going to talk about, of course, e-ink. You know, I was going to name the name of this episode The Wonderful World of E-Readers, but we really ain't talk about e-readers. We talked about
A plethora
travel
of
tech.
things.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'll figure out a snappy name, you know. Well,
I'm sure.
until next time, thank you guys.